you tonight, and I don't know if you were really closely following along to the story that I have just read in your presence, but I believe that what we have before us and what I have just read to you has to be the most ill-conceived, absolute worst battle plan ever produced in history.
Amen.
Now listen, I don't know if you were paying attention to all of that, but let's go back through there and see. Listen, Jonathan goes into battle, and can I tell you, I just don't think it could be possibly any worse circumstances. Now, first of all, what we see here is that they go into the battle, they are woefully undermanned. Verse 2, let's take a look at this. Look at the odds here. Look on this side. Who do we have on this side? We have Jonathan. Yes. A warrior, a soldier, and with him is the guy that carries his armor. Yeah. Come on. Andrew, come up here. I warned him I didn't do this. Now, listen. Look at Andrew. Andrew, for the intents and purposes of this sermon, is going to be the armor bearer. Now listen, you don't have to be good looking to be an armor bearer. You don't have to have much smarts to be an armor bearer. Matter of fact, you can be dumb as a box of rocks and be an armor bearer. Hold the armor. Well, let's say this is from a sword that I like when I'm whacking and hacking Philistines. And then over here is my spear. So all we got to do is you got to go around, come on. And I go over here, and we go into battle. Jonathan was the warrior. He's just the armor bearer. And so when it comes time to battle, give me my sword. I like to whack and hack with it. All right, shoot. All right, I believe I want to throw a spear now. That's a good one. There's only two choices. So hey, listen. 2. All right. Stay right over here. I'm going to tell them who's on the other side, who we're facing. Over here, what do we got? They are going against the garrison of the Philistines. Now, you brought me all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. I bet you're wondering how many is in a garrison. I'm fixing to tell you. A heap more than the 2 standing over here. A garrison was, that sound good to you? That sound good to you? A garrison was the center. It was the headquarters for the army. Yeah, sure. Hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, I don't know. Whole bunch in that garrison. Amen. And one soldier, and the guy carrying the armor. Doesn't look too good, does it? Hey, listen. They were undermanned. But listen, while they are undermanned, others are unconcerned.
That's right. Yeah.
There were others in the army of Israel. How many believe everything is in the Bible is there for a purpose?
Yeah.
I don't believe it's any accident that we go from verse 1 and we see Jonathan and the guy, Brother Armor Bearer, we're going to call him tonight, the 2 of them, and then we see Saul. He's the guy that's supposed to be in charge of this deal. He's the one that's supposed to be carrying. He's the one that's supposed to be trying to do great exploits. He's the one that should be out there leading. And is it any accident that the very next verse we see what's he doing? He's not only on the field of battle, he is sitting, get the picture now, under a pomegranate tree. Yeah. Now, I don't know what that does for you, but that gives me a vision. I just see somebody fanning it. Maybe he's taking a bite of pomegranate, sunning himself, got his shades on, laid back. And there's 600 with it. Oh, brother, come on. Would it not be tempting for Jonathan to say, if Dad doesn't care about this deal? I mean, he's the one that's supposed to care. Why should I put my neck out on the line? Why should I try to do something if they are all sitting under the pomegranate tree about an hour from the battlefield?
That's good.
They're undermanned. And others are unconcerned. Notice also, as they go into battle, They are going completely unnoticed. Under man, others are unconcerned, and they are unnoticed. Notice it again. Verse 1, Jonathan, it plainly says, everything's there for a purpose. Jonathan did not tell his dad what he was doing. And then a couple verses later, it says that the people did not know what Jonathan did. You know what that means? As Jonathan and Brother Armor Bearer head out of town, there's no band playing. There's no pats on the back and say, boy, you're a brave guy to carry that honor for Jonathan. Go to it. We want you to know we'll be back here under the pomegranate tree, but we're attaboy. Go to it. There's not going to be any texts, no phone calls. There's not going to be any parties. There's not going to be any words of encouragement. There's not going to be any care packages. There's not going to be any praise. There's not going to be any plaudits. There's not going to be any compliments. They are going into battle, and nobody knows what they're doing. Come on. Serving completely unnoticed.
Yep.
It's pretty bad, isn't it? Oh, but it gets worse. You say, how in the world can it get worse? Now listen, even though they're outnumbered, anybody that knows anything about the history of battle, there's a couple things if you have, you can be outnumbered and still get something done. If you have the high ground, and if you have the element of surprise, you can get something done with less numbers. That's right. In the Civil War, on their place called Little Round Top, at the end of the fishhook line of the Union regiment, there was Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain with the 20th of Maine. They had run completely out of ammunition. The Mississippi regiment was coming up the hill, and Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain, outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned, ordered bayonets fixed, and then they shouted down the hill with their empty guns, and the element of surprise on the high ground, they took the day. If you got the element of surprise, and you got the high ground.
Come on.
But these two guys, Jonathan and Brother Armor Bearer, I'm telling you, I hate to tell you this, but we're on the ground, and the garrison is way up on the hill. Matter of fact, it's going to tell us that Jonathan, they're crawling up on their hands and their knees.
That's right. That's right.
So when they get to the enemy, they are already in an untenable position.
Yes. Amen. Amen.
Now listen, as they head to go up the mountaintop to fight this great garrison, there are two rocks there. Did you see that part?
Yeah, come on.
Did you see this? Those rocks have names. Did you see that part? We read it.
Come on.
How many believe everything's in the Bible for a purpose?
Yes.
What's their names? The rocks named are Bozez and Sina. Reckon what that means. I'm glad you asked. I'm fixing to tell you. Get this now. Bozez, here's what it means. I researched it in the original language. It means rock. The other one on the other side, Sina, it means hard or thorny place. And that means, Brother Armor Bearer, that we are headed into, literally, we're between a rock and a hard place. It sounds like a great place to start a battle, doesn't it? They're between a rock and a hard place. And now they look back. Garrison's up there. Way up there, see? Well, at least we've got the element of surprise. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did you read that?
Yeah.
Were you paying attention?
Come on. Yep.
John, he said, Brother Armor Bearer, here's the plan. We're going to get between the rock and the hard place here. We're going to look up to the garrison of the Philistines, and we're going to introduce ourselves to them. You! It's Jonathan and Brother Armor Bearer. Did you see that part?
Yeah. I see it. Come on. Yeah.
And he said, here's the plan. If they answer us and say, come on up, we'll know that we've got them. Right where we want them. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the world's worst battle plan of all times. We will announce ourselves and then we'll crawl on our hands and knees. They're waiting for us at the top of the hill. And when we get there, we're on our hands and knees. That has to be the world's worst battle plan. Could not be any worse. Well, wait a second. Jonathan knew a secret. And it is that secret that I'd like to present to you tonight. See, Jonathan realized that it did not matter if it was him, Brother Armor Bearer, if there was a 10 or 1,000 or 100,000. It had nothing to do with it, because Jonathan realized this. He was the only one in that whole crowd that realized there was somebody else on that field of battle.
Amen.
So, Brother Armor Bearer, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go up there. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but we're going to do everything. If we have to climb up there on our hands and knees, we're going to go to the top of that hill. And we're going to do everything we can. Now, there's just the two of us. But we're going to do everything we can. And maybe, just maybe, now I can't say that it's going to happen, but it just may be. That if we get up there and God looks down and sees what we're doing, God's going to decide maybe He'll get involved in this whole thing. And if God gets involved, business is going to pick up. It has nothing to do. Now listen, I can't guarantee what He's going to do, because He's God. And I'm not one of them name it and claim it. Now